Hola amigos, hace unas semanas tuve el gusto de compartir con ustedes una plática que tuve muy amena con Joseph Jaffe y debo confesar que hoy estoy muy contento porque una vez más tengo la oportunidad de estar con una gran personalidad del marketing digital a nivel mundial, coautor del libro Trust Agents, presidente de New Marketing Labs y creador de congresos como el Inbound Marketing Bootcamp, Chris Brogan. Chris, thank you very much for being here with us.
It's my pleasure.
I have to tell you, I'm really thrilled about being here talking to you. We've shared some tweets, we exchanged some information. You have a lot of followers in Twitter, and I'm one of them. No?
Yes.
And we're always paying attention to what you're doing. So the moment that we found out that we had the opportunity of inviting you here to participate at the IAV Connect conference, I said to myself, I cannot miss out on the opportunity to sit down with Chris and do an interview for friends at the Daily and the Not. So Chris, to get the conversation going, why don't you share a little about yourself with us?
Well, sure. I am from Massachusetts in the United States. I was raised in Maine, so I've lived on the east coast of the U.S. my whole life, by the water. I am from a very non-traditional background, given your typical colleague. I'm from the world of customer service and telecom, and then after that I was in wireless telecom doing project management and other roles that were more technical. And I came into this by mistake by way of blogging in 1998 when we were calling it journaling, and I was doing it mostly for my own interest, and it just seems that everyone caught up to what I was interested in. So I'm here by mistake. Good.
So I have to confess one thing. I'm a big believer, and we were saying before we started the interview about how the people who work in the digital marketing industry is very used to collaborating and sharing information and working with each other. I'm a big believer in collaboration. So one of the things that I tried to do in preparation for this interview is that I invited some of my followers in Twitter and my friends in Twitter to send me some questions and share this interview with them. No? And so what I want to do is mix some of their questions with my own.
Great.
And the first question that I want to share comes actually from a very big fan of you. Her name is Rosaura Ochoa. She blogs at the Rosaura Ochoa blog, and her Twitter nickname is at La Que Se Fue. I'll send you the info.
Great.
And actually she told me that she was inspired by your blog to get hers going on.
Oh, great.
No? So she sent me a couple of very good questions that
Sure.
I want to share with you. And the first question that Rosaura sends is, you are recognized as one of the leaders in personal branding, a person who really knows personal branding. So what best practices can a person do for self-promotion with social media, for instance?
Rosaura, thank you for the question. It is so important to make it about the other people. It's about Efrain, it's about Rosaura, it's about everybody but you, because who we like at a party, who we like at a business event, who we like to talk to is someone who makes us feel good. So the secret of all personal branding is make them feel good. And if you can do this, if you can welcome people, if you can share all your best things for free and openly, if you can give them the material to equip them to do their job better, that's all the secret of personal branding. Anything else is a logo or a hat or a color, and that's not it. That's the chrome on the engine.
Good. So you would say that you would attribute your success in personal branding to that, to collaboration, to making it about the other person.
Absolutely. It's all about helping and connecting with others and being useful. My efforts have been to be everywhere that I could be. That's a little trick to that. If you can be everywhere, then everyone thinks to ask you for help. So that maybe relates. But then once you're there, help. Don't wait for payment. Don't ask for, well, I only tell you this much for free. Give it all away. It all comes back.
Absolutely. Completely agree with you. Completely agree with you.
We'll get along fine.
On that note, there are a lot of personalities, even celebrities, if we might call them that,
Sure.
Like Mitch Joel, like Joseph Jaffe or Chris Anderson, or a lot of names, Seth Godin, yourself, who are really known in the industry all around the world. But these names come from markets like the UK or the US.
Yes.
There are really no names from other markets that are like recognized gurus or marketing professionals who come from these other markets. Why do you think that is?
The internet cheats. The internet is very geared towards English language. All business tends geared that way because Americans are lazy and they don't speak well. I speak horrible Spanish, worse than horrible Spanish, embarrassing. So those who can strive and thrive in our language, in English language, seem to get precedence. So that's one answer. Another is that search works that way. There is no, Google Mexico works great, but Twitter search Mexico not so much. It's the tools haven't caught up to the universal experience here. That said, there are up and coming people that I think are wonderful in other countries. There's James Watley in the UK. Nicole Simon is not even. She's been around a while in Germany. So there's people doing. Karen Hogue in I'm going to get it wrong, either Denmark or around the Scandinavia. So there are people kind of making their way. I think that in all things pop culture, and don't forget, some of this digital marketing is very pop. It is not B2B. It is not very hardcore. Seth writes entertaining books. Mitch's upcoming book, 6 Pixels of Separation, entertaining. So the rest of the world takes its cue from America sometimes with entertainment, except for good football and except for soap operas, because then Univision, But we own entertainment in many of the genre, and in a way, let's never forget that marketing is entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely. Still in the line of the people who are leading, like the thought leaders in the industry. Who are the digital marketing thought leaders that have inspired you or that have influenced the work that you do, and that you would recommend our friends to follow?
Guy Kawasaki. I met Guy for the first time in 1983 when he still was with Apple, and I was in an audience watching him demonstrate the first ever Macintosh, and he was an evangelist, and I turned to my dad full of passion, con mucho gusto, and said, I want to be what he is. And my dad said, that's a horrible idea. And years later, that's what I do. I think besides Guy, Brian Clark, who's known as Copy Blogger, Seth Godin, pro blogger Darren Rouse from Australia. We should have named him as our popular marketer. Valeria Meltoni, who is Italian living in the US, conversation agent. There are some really good people out there writing great works. Unmarketing is another good one. I can't think of his URL, his Twitter name is Unmarketing. But so there's great blogs to follow. What I also like to do though is look for your success outside of marketing blogs. So, I throw in a friend who writes about accessibility issues. She's handicapped. I throw in people who, a preacher friend of mine who only writes about matters of spirit. And I think we'll get more out of our experience as marketers if we learn from salespeople, from priests, from teachers, because they're not talking every day the same as we.
Right.